Welcome to channel 69, and you have Big Hurt with the Ghetto Report.
What's up? What's going on? Big Hurt back with the Ghetto Report. We're gonna jump right into things. Now, you know, at the Ghetto Report, we ain't with no violence on black violence, so we gonna start off by offering our condolences to Yo Gotti and his family, death of his brother, Big Jew. We gonna offer our condolences because we know they're at war in Memphis right now. We don't condone that type of violence, and we really don't want to see that going on, so we gonna offer our condolences and move past that. We're not gonna even really talk about that, because we don't condone them. But we do want to talk about the YSL trial. Have y'all been following the trial? Y'all see what's going on? That trial is really, I mean, it's a hard thing to sit there and watch your childhood friends get up and testify against you in a way that's going to hurt you. I know it's got to be killing Young Thug, but we want to talk about that briefly because we saw that the prosecutor introduced their witness list, and they had Birdman on their witness list. So it was a lot of chatter online with saying, is Birdman snitching, is Birdman doing this and that? And us at the Ghetto Report, who have some knowledge of the criminal justice system, we just want to shed some light on that aspect of the YSL case. Prosecutor can put anybody they want on their witness list if they believe that this person has valuable information that they can use. That don't mean that the person can be compelled to testify or even have to testify. Now, if the person refuses to testify, they can subpoena the person to court, and they can actually place the person on the stand and ask questions, but the person always can reserve their right not to answer. They can plead the fifth and be like, listen, I plead the fifth. And the Fifth Amendment is your right against self-incrimination. So basically, we believe that prosecutor put Birdman's name on the list without consulting Birdman, because they believe that Birdman had some information, of course, like the dude Tick, whatever his name was, the little rat bastard that went up there and testified against Young Thug, talked about what happened on Lil Wayne's tour bus. So they probably thinking Birdman has information regarding that aspect of the case. So that's probably why he was on the witness list. But we want to clear that up. Like, we don't believe that Birdman would willingly go in there and testify to anything that would incriminate Young Thug. Also, what was funny too, when they was asking Tick about certain gang signs and affiliations to gang activity, you know, he was acting like he was dumb as a box of rocks, and in some instances, in other instances, he was giving information, right? But I thought that Young Thug's lawyer did a very good job showing how society today embraces the gang culture with people that's not even in the gang life. Like they showed a picture of Serena Williams when she was crip walking at one of her matches. So, and we know Serena Williams is not a gang member. We know she's not a Crip, but she grew up in Los Angeles, so she sees the lifestyle, and she did it after one of her matches to show that she understands the lifestyle, and for whatever reason, she celebrated it, right? And they also showed a video of LeBron James throwing up a gang sign that they said was attributed to the gang lifestyle, and he also said the word Islam, and he went something like that, and gave up their handshake, and we know LeBron James is not a gang member. We know that he's a basketball player. So I thought that Young Thug's lawyer did a very good job showing how this lifestyle, people can take on this lifestyle and celebrate it even though they're not actual participants in crime or gang activity. Because that's what Young Thug is saying. Okay, he talked about the lifestyle within his raps, but he actually wasn't doing crime. And I believe that his lawyer did a very good job giving some credence to that assertion. Because just because you celebrate the lifestyle don't mean that you're an active gang member. LeBron and Serena can attest.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Big Hurt, STAYFLY Nation, we want to give y'all a little quick plug. We got the reaction channel coming, you know what I'm saying? She belongs to the streets. This joint was inspired by the drama going on with Joe Smith. You know, the first round draft pick who blew through that 61 million, married that adult corn star, ex-adult corn star, who kind of put him on blast. It was all over social media. So we was thinking, there's a lot of men out there that don't really understand that certain women you can't marry. You can't marry chicks that belong to the streets. So we're going to outline that whole thing for y'all and do a little reactions to that. Quickly, stay tuned for that. You know what I'm saying? It's coming quickly. And put some subs on it. If you support the channel, you like what we're doing, holla at us. Big Hurt, STAYFLY Nation. We want to talk about this case against this woman, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, because we were discussing that within the Ghetto Report office, and we thought it was a troubling case. If you're not familiar with the history of the case, long story short, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's mother was taking her to doctors and misdiagnosing that she had Munchausen syndrome, where she was saying that the young girl had all these illnesses and she needed medical attention, and she was soliciting money from people, and she allegedly took out the girl's teeth and put her tube down her throat, and the young girl Gypsy Rose, you know, she suffered, and it was news reports. She was on the news talking about this syndrome and how her daughter needed all this care and her medical bills. And it came to light that Gypsy Rose Blanchard did not have this illness, that her mother was a con artist and was basically conning the world to receive funds to live a certain lifestyle. So allegedly Gypsy Rose and her boyfriend at the time, a gentleman named Nick, they supposedly plotted to kill her mother and to get Gypsy Rose out of that situation. Now, her mother was subsequently murdered, and Nick and Gypsy went on trial, and Nick received a life sentence. And Gypsy received a certain amount of years, but she's home now, right? And we was talking about Lifetime was doing a docu-series on the affair where you get, I guess, the whole story. And it's called the Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose. And we thought it's a sad story, no doubt, right? But we thought it was odd how Gypsy Rose, she has 7 TikTok followers, right? 7 Instagram followers. And she's basically living her life now. She did about, I think, 8 years. She's home, she's remarried, and she's getting to live her life and tell her story. While Nick is still in jail doing the rest of his natural life. And we think that there's mitigating circumstances, like, okay, we regret that somebody lost their life, even though she may have been doing things that were legal, and we understand that no one has the right to take a life. But I think it was mitigating circumstances, Big Hurt was saying basically, and Nick should be granted some type of relief also, because basically he was doing this because he thought that this was being done to his girlfriend, and she was being harmed, and he basically was, I don't want to say manipulated wholeheartedly, but manipulated to a certain degree because it wasn't being done to him. You know, and I just feel like it's kind of difficult to see in Big Hurt's opinion, Gypsy Rose go on with her life while Nick doesn't get to go on with his life, you know. So we were arguing that at the Ghetto Report. Some people were saying, well, listen, Nick took a life and Nick, you know, the court sentenced Nick accordingly. And some people were saying, well, Gypsy Rose was granted some type of leniency. Maybe Nick should be granted some type of leniency as well. You know, in New York State, right, they have a law called the Son of Sam law, where criminal defendants are not allowed to profit from their crimes. This is whether they're incarcerated or they come home. So we seeing that even though we acknowledging that a lot of harm was done to Gypsy Rose, she is profiting from her crime. So are we thinking that all of this should be taken in totality, and that we think that the majority here at the Ghetto Report, that something should be done, and maybe Nick should get another hearing, and they should assess his culpability and his reform. Maybe he's reformed enough where he should be granted parole also. So that was a big discussion at the Ghetto Report, and we at the Ghetto Report want to share that with you. You know what I'm saying? So again, that was another edition of the Ghetto Report. Big Hurt, and I'm out.
I'm gonna start stabbing y'all when y'all try to stop me coming on set. Yo, what's up? It's easy peasy. I got the home DNA testing. Listen, these is $35 a box. Everybody wanna know if they related to rap royalty or just plain royalty. One dude ripped my shirt because he said he wasn't related to Jay-Z. I ain't got nothing to do with the result. Easy peasy just selling boxes and the test. So listen, if you come out and you relate to Flavor Flav, that's on you. Listen, easy peasy, holla at me. $35 a box, easy peasy, and I'm out.